Welcome, fellow creators. Today we're diving into one of Maya's most versatile tools, the Motion Path tool. Whether you're animating characters, vehicles, or objects, mastering this tool will add fluidity and realism to your animations. So let's get started. This is always a fun tool to play around with. All we need is a line, which we have one right here. I've already created this circle. Just something really basic. And I've got over here a sphere that we're going to be animating. And the goal is to get this here sphere to fall along this path. Now I've set this scene up with 128 frames. We can play that. As you can see, nothing happens. So to set this up, it's really quite simple. We're going to select our curve right here. We're going to shift select the sphere. And if you've got your default shelf loaded, you can just click this icon right here, and that'll set everything up automatically for you. But just in case you don't, under the animation menu, we'll go to constrain, and you'll see motion paths right here, and we can click that. But I'm going to click the options right here. This will pull up this little box, and I want to make sure I have my default settings. So reset that, and we'll just click attach. And there we go, just like that. We are ready to go. So as we scrub through the timeline, you can see it follows that curve now. Isn't that awesome? I'll just hit the play button. It'll automatically loop itself around. So there's the basic quick how-to to set up your motion path. So I've got this scene here loaded up. This is a little bit more interesting. I created a much more elaborate motion path that we're going to use. And this could be pretty cool. And then out of that sphere that we had, I added some little wings using the extrude tool. And this is going to be crazy. So again, we'll select our curve. We'll select the object. This time I'm just going to use the shelf button. Just like that. So now as we scrub through this, it follows that curve just beautifully. That's cool. So we can open up now some of the settings on this and make some adjustments. You'll find it under the attribute editor, and if we go to the tab which says motion path, we'll just click that, and now we can edit some of the settings. And to find your settings, make sure you have the object selected and not the path. So I'm going to check this little bank option off, and I'm going to set this to 120. So now as it hits those curves, you'll see it starts to bank with the curve. It's kind of hard to tell, but you can see the wing start to tip this direction as it makes this tight turn. If we disable that, you can see it doesn't do that right there anymore. It just follows a straight linear path. But if we check that, it kind of flows with the curve and makes it look a little bit more natural. This is definitely great for any kind of aviation type of animations. Alright, I'm going to make this a little bit more interesting. Let's duplicate this object using the Shift-D command. I'll pull this away. We'll go to our channel box here, and I'm going to zero everything out. I'm going to add this to the same motion path. I'm going to select this motion path. I'm going to select my object, and now I'm going to add it to the motion path. And as we play it, as to be expected, both objects are following that path now. But we have two objects and all I see is one. Well, that's unfortunately because they're stacked right on top of each other. We're going to open up the graph editor and we're going to do a little bit of editing with this. Go to Windows, Animation Editors, and it'll be the very top one, the graph editor. Now to do this, it's pretty simple. Going to make sure we have one of our little weird airplanes selected, and your graph editor should look very similar to this. We're going to select each one of these keyframes right here. And using the move tool, shift, and drag it upward. We don't want to get it too far though, just enough separation. Something about like that. So now that we have our airplanes spaced out just a little bit, they'll both be able to follow this motion path. Let's give it a try. Let's get a better angle. I think this looks nice right here. And we'll just scrub through on the timer. And you can see how both of them follow along. Pretty cool, huh? We'll hit the play button to really enjoy it. Boom. Haha. That's cool. Alright, let's have a little bit of fun with these motion paths. I've got here my original curve that I made earlier. I'm going to turn on my core fighter. Just sitting right here. We're going to select its control curve. Uh-oh. We got to make sure we got it turned into the airplane mode. There we go. Beautiful. So this guy is ready to fly. All we got to do now is attach it to our curve that we made. But I can't just select this because I have it grouped multiple times. So to do this, I'm going to have to open my outliner up. For this, we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to select the main core group, and then I'm going to select my motion curve, which is this right here. I'm going to click my motion path on my shelf, get that attached, and there we go. We are ready to roll. Oh, uh-oh, wait a minute. That don't look right. It's pointing the wrong direction. Yikes. Well, we can easily address that. We're going to make sure we have our main group selected. And we're going to go to the attribute editor this time. We're going to minimize that to get rid of that crazy thing. We're looking for the motion path tab, which is going to be right here. We'll click that. And here's where you can play around with the settings a little bit more. The front axis. Well, mine's pointing this direction, and it's not pointing facing toward the curve. So we got a big problem there. So we can easily correct this by clicking this little tab right here. And I believe it's going to be the Z-axis we want. So I'm going to click that, and there we go. Now we're facing the curve. Just wonderful. If you run into that problem, sometimes you may have to play around with some of these different options to get the right setting that you need. As you can see, you can get your object to point any direction you want. But this is the correct one I want. So I'm going to stick with the Z-axis. Now we can watch this core fighter fly along its flight path. That is really neat. So we're going to do a little bit of animating with this to finish this project up. I'm going to turn on this other layer I made, which is some rings. As you guessed, this core fighter is going to be flying right through those rings. Vroom. Oh man, this is too crazy. But we're going to do a little bit of animating with this. So I'm going to frame this up. So I've got my core fighter group selected. Let me show you how this works. To animate things, you're going to need multiple groups. And this is how I have it set up. I've got the main group for my core fighter, and then I have a group which follows the path. But I want to be able to animate my core fighter, so I'm going to select this group right here, which is just the core fighter itself. We'll minimize that. I'm going to set a keyframe right here for it. We're going to scrub through just a little bit. Right about when I get here, I want it to rotate just a little bit this direction. We'll hit another keyframe. We'll make it rotate like crazy this way. And as it hits about right here, I was thinking of making it do a loop, but I think we'll have it come back full circle. Or would that look good? Nah. We'll have it go right there. I think that's when we'll make it do the loop right before it ends. Whoops, wrong axis. So we'll just rotate this guy around completely. just like that. Now we can get a little bit crazy with this where I haven't set up the controls for it yet, but I do have the axes installed where I can control the rudder. We can set keyframes for that. I'll make it look a little bit more realistic. But for now, I think this is going to work just wonderful. Let's disable our curves so we can actually see this thing. Let's get rid of the grid too. That's very distracting. So here we've got our rings. We'll just hit the play button and see what happens. Wow, is that crazy or what, guys? So it's coming through that ring. That's where we want to see our neat, action-packed fly-through right here. Let's do it. Yeah. Now we're talking. Let's play this. Well, that is cool. And there you go, guys. Mastering the motion path tool in Maya opens up a world of creative possibilities for animation. With its intuitive interface and powerful features, you can bring your scenes to life with fluid and dynamic motion. So start experimenting and unleash your creativity. That's all for today's tutorial. If you found it helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tips and tutorials. Alright, my friends. Happy animating!